Have you ever wondered why your life seems to repeat the same patterns, no matter how hard you try to change? Why old habits pull you back, even when your heart craves transformation? What if the secret doesn't lie in what you do, but in how you observe? In the world of quantum physics, there's a strange, almost mystical principle: the observer effect. Scientists discovered that the very act of observation doesn't just record reality, it changes it. A particle can behave like a wave until someone looks. Then, in an instant, it collapses into a fixed state. Reality bends under the simple act of awareness. Now pause for a moment. If this is true at the smallest level of existence, could it also be true for you? For your thoughts, your habits, your identity? What if the way you observe yourself is silently shaping the life you live? Every success, every failure, every transformation. This is not philosophy alone. This is lived experience. Think about it. Whenever you judge yourself, you freeze your growth. Whenever you simply notice, with awareness, with compassion, something begins to shift. The observer effect isn't just physics. It's the hidden law of personal transformation. Here's the astonishing truth. You don't need to force change. You don't need to fight your old patterns with endless struggle. What you need is a new way of seeing, of observing yourself. Because the quality of your observation determines the reality you step into. Consciousness doesn't just witness your life, it creates it. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover why this principle, once seen only in laboratories, holds the key to your inner freedom. Why the observer effect changes everything about transformation, from the way you breathe, to the way you meditate, to the way you step into your highest potential. And by the end, you'll know exactly why awareness itself is the doorway to the life you've always wanted. So stay with me, take a deep breath, because once you understand the power of observation, you'll never look at yourself or reality the same way again. Breath is the most ordinary act of life, and yet, when seen with the right awareness, it becomes the most extraordinary. From the moment you were born, your very first breath announced your arrival into this world. And every moment since, breath has been your constant companion, quietly keeping you alive, silently weaving the rhythm of your existence. But here's what most people miss. Breath is not just oxygen, not just physiology, not just something happening in the background. Breath is the bridge between your body, your mind, and your consciousness. And when you bring awareness, the observer effect, into this act of breathing, it unlocks a completely new dimension of personal transformation. In quantum physics, the observer effect teaches us that the act of observation changes the observed. Now imagine your breath as that particle, but the moment you observe it, the instant you bring awareness to it, everything changes. Your heart slows, your mind steadies, your inner energy begins to reorganize. You move from chaos to coherence. Observation turns breath from a mechanical process into a conscious practice. And here's the unique method I want to share with you: the observer breath. It is not about controlling your inhale or forcing your exhale. It is not about complicated pranayama techniques or holding your breath for minutes at a time. The observer breath is simply this: you become the witness of your own breathing. You watch the rise and fall of your chest, the coolness of air entering your nostrils, the warmth of air leaving. You do not judge it. You do not change it. You simply observe. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and instead of reaching immediately for your phone, you sit for just 60 seconds and watch your breath. In those 60 seconds, your brain waves shift from chaos to clarity. Stress hormones begin to dissolve. Your heart rhythm synchronizes with your breath rhythm. And most importantly, your sense of self expands. You are no longer trapped inside racing thoughts. You become the witness, the observer. Because you can only change your life when you step outside the old identity that created your problems. Breath is the key because breath is always here. You don't need a retreat in the mountains. Your transformation is one breath away. Every inhale is an invitation to observe. Every exhale is a reminder to release. Ancient traditions knew this truth long before science discovered it. Yogis in India, monks in Tibet, mystics across cultures, they all turned to breath as the gateway to higher states of consciousness. But they did not have the language of quantum physics. Today, we can merge both worlds. Science tells us that observation collapses possibilities into reality. Spirituality tells us that awareness transforms the self. Breath is where these truths meet. It is the laboratory of your own being. And when you practice the observer breath, you are running the most important experiment of your life. You are collapsing chaos into clarity, stress into peace, confusion into wisdom. And here's what makes the observer breath unique. It's not about effort, it's about presence. Most methods of change rely on force, discipline, struggle, pushing against your old self. But force only creates resistance. The observer breath dissolves resistance because it doesn't fight. It simply sees. And what is seen transforms. When you shine the light of awareness on your breath, you begin to shine the light of awareness on your life. You start noticing the moments you react instead of respond. You start noticing the emotions that rise and fall like the inhale and exhale. You start noticing that you are not your thoughts, not your habits, not your past. You are the observer of it all, and that realization is liberation. In just a few minutes a day, the observer breath can rewire your nervous system, calm your overthinking, and open the space for creativity, compassion, and clarity. This is why breath is the gateway to transformation, because it is the one place where body, mind, and consciousness meet. It is the living proof of the observer effect. Inside you, every second. You don't have to wait years for change. You don't have to master 100 techniques. You simply have to observe. One breath, then another, then another. And with each breath, you step closer to the person you were always meant to be. Reality is not something that only happens to you. It is something that happens within you and then reflects outward. Most of us spend our lives reacting to circumstances. The traffic on the road, the deadlines at work, the emotions of people around us. But what if I told you that you are not just a reactor to reality, you are a creator of it? Neuroscience tells us that the brain is not a fixed machine. It is plastic, adaptable, and self-regulating. Your thoughts are not passive reflections of the world, but active builders of your inner world. The inner reality technique is about training this inner lens, using your breath, your body, and your awareness to generate calm, clarity, and creativity. Imagine this. You close your eyes, place one hand on your heart and one on your abdomen. You inhale slowly, exhale gently. Now you bring to mind an inner reality, peace, strength, confidence, love. You let your body feel it as if it is already true. As you do, your nervous system reorganizes. Stress hormones decrease, endorphins rise, heart rate variability improves. You are not waiting for reality to calm you down. You are calming yourself down. You are generating peace within and carrying it into life. The external world will never perfectly align to give you inner peace. But when you master the inner reality technique, you stop outsourcing well-being to circumstances. Every time you practice, you strengthen the circuits of your brain that regulate emotion, attention, and energy. You are literally building a new inner reality. When anxious, the body contracts, breath shortens, mind narrows. But with the inner reality technique, you expand breath, relax body, widen awareness. Your brain does not know the difference between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. This is why visualization rewires you from within. Instead of being hijacked by stress, you become anchored in calm. Instead of being driven by fear, you become guided by vision. When you generate an inner reality, your outer reality begins to shift in response. The world becomes a mirror of your transformation. The inner reality technique equips you with inner tools to meet challenges from higher consciousness. While you cannot always control what happens, you can control how you meet it. Pause. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe slowly. Imagine the reality you want. Calm, courage, compassion. Feel it. Embody it. Then act from that state. This is the inner reality technique. From victim to creator. From survival to transformation. In quantum physics, The observer effect shows that the simple act of observation changes particles, collapsing infinite possibilities into a single outcome. This principle mirrors our inner lives. The way we observe ourselves, our problems, and our emotions changes the reality we live. A stressful deadline can feel like unbearable pressure to one person and like motivation to another. The outer situation is the same, but the observation is different. Emotions are not simply created by events. They are created by the meaning we give to them. And meaning is shaped by observation. Stress doesn't come from the deadline itself, but from the story you tell yourself. I can't handle this. Anger does not come from what was said, but from the interpretation. They disrespected me. Sadness comes from the filter. This always happens to me. Self-observation shines a light on these hidden filters. When you see them, you create space to choose a new filter. Just like in quantum physics, where observation collapses potential into form, in psychology, self-observation collapses confusion into clarity. Observation interrupts the automatic loop of thought, emotion, reaction. Without it, you are a prisoner of your filters. With it, you are free. Through self-observation, you realize thoughts are just thoughts. Emotions are just energies passing through. You become free to choose. Imagine giving a presentation. Your heart races, palms sweat. Normally you'd say, I am nervous. But through observation, you can say, I am excited. Or in conflict. Instead of reacting with anger, you observe and see their anger as a cry for help. Suddenly, compassion replaces attack. Over time, self-observation rewires your identity. You stop identifying as stressed, angry, insecure, and begin to live as the observer itself. The deepest self is the awareness that watches and chooses. When you live from this observer, problems lose their grip. Most problems are not fixed realities. They are shaped by observation. A failure can be a curse or a teacher, depending on the filter you choose. Observation is the gateway. Awareness is the path. Transformation is the result. The deepest breakthroughs in personal transformation often come when you realize this simple truth. You are not inside the problem. You are the observer of it. Most people live as if they are trapped within their thoughts and feelings, drowning in every wave of emotion, lost in every storm of the mind. When anxiety comes, they say, I am anxious. When sadness comes, they say, I am sad. When anger comes, they say, I am angry. But this is not the whole truth. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness that notices them. Psychologists call this practice cognitive detachment. Imagine sitting in a movie theater. The film plays, and for a moment, you are lost inside the characters, the drama, the intensity. You forget it's just a movie, but then you lean back, take a breath, and remember, you are not inside the movie. You are the observer, sitting in the chair, watching. When you step back from your thoughts, clarity emerges. Instead of being carried away by the storm, you rise above the clouds. You see the bigger picture. Observation brings awareness, and awareness brings freedom. The body responds instantly. Your breath deepens. Your heartbeat steadies. This is mind-body unity, the realization that when the mind changes its relationship to thought, the body follows. Like clouds drifting across the sky, thoughts appear, change shape, and dissolve. You are the sky, not the clouds. This psychological distance is not cold or disconnected. It is compassionate clarity. It allows you to feel emotions without drowning in them. Now, silently say to yourself, I am noticing a thought. That's it. In that moment, you have shifted from being the thought to being the observer. You move from unconscious reaction to conscious action. That space is freedom. In conflict, instead of snapping back, you pause, observe the anger, and respond with clarity. You stop being a puppet of your emotions and become the director of your experience. This is mind-body unity, the natural state that emerges when awareness takes its rightful seat as the observer. By stepping back from your thoughts and feelings, you come closer to your true self. By creating distance, you discover unity. And when you live from that awareness, life transforms. Problems shrink. Clarity expands. Emotions flow without controlling you. The body finds balance. The mind finds peace. And you, the observer, finally come home to yourself. Breath is the most intimate and constant companion of our lives. It is the first action we take when entering the world, and the last when leaving it. Yet for most of us, it goes unnoticed, hidden beneath the noise of daily life. But if we bring awareness to this subtle rhythm, the ordinary act of breathing transforms into the most powerful tool for awakening the mind-body relationship. Conscious breathing is not just a wellness practice. It is an invitation into presence, into the space where awareness resides. Each inhalation becomes a gentle reminder that you are alive, and each exhalation becomes a release of what no longer serves you. Through this simple but profound awareness, breath reveals itself as the anchor that keeps the mind from wandering too far into past regrets or future anxieties. It brings us back to the now, where real transformation always begins. In moments of stress, the body reacts instinctively. Muscles tense, the heartbeat quickens, and the breath becomes shallow and rapid. This is the body's ancient survival system at work, preparing for danger. Yet in modern life, the danger is rarely a predator in the forest. It is often an email, a deadline, or a difficult conversation. The body does not distinguish between physical threat and psychological stress, so it reacts the same way. If we remain unconscious, we get caught in this automatic cycle, our breath leading us deeper into fear and reactivity. But here lies the secret. When you observe the breath, you step outside the cycle. You witness instead of react. By simply noticing the rise and fall of your breath, you insert a pause between stimulus and response. That pause is not empty. It is a doorway to choice, to freedom, to transformation. Breath acts as the bridge between unconscious patterns and conscious transformation. From the perspective of psychology, many of our reactions are automatic, conditioned by years of habit, upbringing, and unexamined beliefs. We are driven by these patterns, often unaware of how much control they have over us. But philosophy, and especially the wisdom of mindfulness, reminds us that awareness has the power to interrupt this automaticity. When we bring conscious attention to the breath, we bring light to the shadowy corridors of the unconscious. We shine clarity into the places where old patterns thrive. In that awareness, we begin to see clearly. We are not bound by the script of our past. We are free to author new responses. The breath becomes the bridge, carrying us from what is automatic and reactive into what is conscious and creative. This relationship between breath, mind, and body is more than metaphor. It is physiological, psychological, and spiritual all at once. Neuroscience shows us that slow, conscious breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body and lowering stress hormones. Psychology shows us that mindful breathing increases self-regulation, making us less reactive and more resilient. Spirituality shows us that the breath is sacred, the life force that connects the body to the mind and the mind to the soul. When we weave these together, we realize that breath is not a passive function. It is the master key to transformation. Each breath taken with awareness is a message to your entire being. I am here. I am present. I choose consciousness over compulsion. Think of a moment when anger arose within you. Normally, the mind races, the body tightens, and words spill out before you can stop them. But imagine in that very moment you turn inward, notice your breath, and take just 3 slow inhalations and exhalations. Those 3 breaths create distance. They cool the fire. They remind you that you are not the anger. You are the observer of the anger. This shift is profound. You reclaim authority over your mind and body instead of being enslaved by them. Over time, these small acts of conscious breathing accumulate. They reshape your identity from someone reactive to someone resilient, from someone driven by stress to someone grounded in presence. Philosophically, breath represents the meeting point of 2 worlds, the unconscious and the conscious. It happens automatically, without effort, yet it can also be directed by will. This is why sages and meditators across traditions have always revered breath as the gateway to higher awareness. In yoga, it is called prana, the vital energy. In meditation, it is the anchor to the present moment. In psychology, it is the regulator of emotion. In philosophy, it is the bridge between body and mind. All perspectives converge on one truth. The breath is not ordinary. It is the key to extraordinary transformation. As you deepen your relationship with breath, you begin to see the body differently. Instead of being an obstacle, the body becomes a partner. Instead of being a restless machine, the mind becomes an ally. The three, breath, mind, and body, move in unity, each supporting the other. When the breath is calm, the body relaxes. When the body relaxes, the mind grows clear. When the mind grows clear, the breath flows freely. This cycle becomes a harmony, a symphony of transformation. Stress cannot dominate in this state because awareness has taken its place. Fear cannot imprison you because presence has opened the door. The practice is simple yet profound. Observe the breath. Do not force it. Do not manipulate it. Just watch. In watching, the breath naturally deepens. In deepening, the body naturally relaxes. In relaxing, the mind naturally clears. This is the path from unconscious reaction to conscious transformation. Each breath observed is a step toward freedom, toward self-mastery, toward a life lived fully awake. The relationship between breath, mind, and body is not a theory. It is a lived experience waiting for you in every moment. The next time stress arises, remember, the key is already within you. Breathe, observe, awaken. Through breath, you connect to the body. Through the body, you ground the mind. Through the mind, you open awareness. And through awareness, you transform. This is the secret of the observer effect brought into daily life. Not only in science, not only in philosophy, but in every inhale and exhale you take. Before any true transformation can take root, there must be space for it to flourish. Imagine planting a seed in soil tangled with weeds, stones, and debris. No matter how much sunlight or water you give it, the seed cannot grow freely because the environment is blocked. Our inner lives are cluttered with old patterns, fear, limiting beliefs, negative energy, unresolved wounds that prevent new growth. These patterns are like programs running silently in the background, dictating our behavior without us even realizing it. Clearing begins with awareness. When we observe our patterns without judgment, they lose their grip. You are no longer the voice. You are the awareness that hears the voice. That awareness is liberation. Fear, guilt, shame, these are heavy stones we carry for years. They do not protect us. They imprison us. Clearing these patterns is like removing weeds, stones, and walls from the soil of the mind and heart. Psychology teaches us the brain is plastic. It can rewire itself when old patterns are replaced by new ones. One act of awareness plants a new seed. Over time, the old pathway weakens and the new one strengthens. But the clearing must come first. You must recognize and interrupt the old before the new can take root. Patterns are deeply ingrained, often formed in childhood or repeated experiences of pain, rejection, or failure. For example, someone told they were not good enough may unconsciously sabotage opportunities even when no one else doubts them. Fear of rejection may block dreams, while anger from old wounds poisons present relationships. We think we are making free choices, but often we are reacting to echoes of the past. Awareness creates space. You are no longer the pattern. You are the observer of the pattern. Fear of change, fear of failure, fear of not being loved. These illusions hold us captive. Resentment, guilt, shame, heavy stones we carry. They do not protect us. They imprison us. Limiting beliefs are invisible walls. I'm not smart enough. I don't deserve happiness. It's too late for me. Clearing is like removing weeds, stones, and walls from the soil of the heart, so new seeds can flourish. Every time you catch yourself in an old reaction and choose a new one, you weaken the old pattern. Responding calmly instead of with anger plants a new seed of transformation. Repeated over time, the old pathway loses power and the new pathway strengthens. This is the psychological foundation of transformation. But first, the old must be cleared. Only then can the new truly take root. Spiritual traditions echo the same wisdom. Across cultures, rituals of purification and letting go have always preceded initiation into new stages of life. Whether it is fasting, cleansing with water, or meditative silence, the principle is the same. You must empty the cup before it can be filled anew. Holding on to anger, fear, or self-doubt is like carrying a heavy bag while trying to climb a mountain. You may make some progress, but the burden slows you down and drains your energy. Letting go is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to face what you've been carrying, acknowledge it, and release it with compassion. A practical exercise is journaling with conscious breathing. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and allow old emotions to surface. Write them down without judgment. Fears, doubts, resentments, anything that feels heavy. As you breathe out, imagine releasing them onto the page, letting them leave your body and mind. Then, once written, thank them for their lessons and consciously let them go. Burn or tear the paper as a symbolic act. This practice is not about erasing memory, but about shifting energy, creating spaciousness for new growth. Another method is mindfulness-based reframing. When a limiting belief arises, ask, is this absolutely true? By questioning, you weaken its authority. The thought, I always fail, becomes, I sometimes struggle, but I also succeed. Over time, clearing becomes second nature. You recognize the difference between who you truly are and the stories you've been carrying. Clearing is a process of death and rebirth. The old identity dissolves and space opens for the new one. It can feel uncomfortable because the familiar, even when painful, feels safer than the unknown. But transformation requires stepping into the unknown, trusting that space will be filled with strength, clarity, and purpose. When you let go of fear, you create space for courage. When you release resentment, you create space for compassion. Every act of clearing is an act of opening. Like opening windows in a dark room, stale air leaves, fresh light flows in. So, before building a new identity, pause and ask, what old patterns am I still holding on to? The answer may not come instantly, but the question itself opens awareness. Step by step, breath by breath, you remove what no longer serves and prepare the ground for what is waiting to emerge. Transformation is not about adding more. It is about removing what is false, so the truth of who you are can shine. Transformation becomes most powerful when breath and imagination work together. Conscious breathing anchors you into the present moment, while visualization opens a window into the future self you wish to embody. Separately, each practice has profound benefits, but when combined, they rewire identity at the deepest level. This two-part process, clearing with conscious breathing and building with visualization, is the art of sculpting your inner world. It is not about forcing change from the outside, but embodying change from within. The first phase is clearing. Just as an artist clears a canvas before painting, you must create mental space before constructing a new self-image. Conscious breathing is the simplest and most effective way to do this. By slowing your breath, relaxing your body, and calming the nervous system, you reduce the background noise of stress and distraction. Without clearing, visualization is like shouting into a storm. The message cannot be received clearly. Clearing prepares the soil of the mind, softens the resistance of the body, and opens awareness for what comes next. It is a way of saying to yourself, I am ready. I am open. The second phase is reflection and visualization. Once the body is calm, you can begin to visualize your ideal self. This is not just daydreaming. It is deliberate imagination, fueled by breath, reshaping identity. When you vividly imagine being your future self, the brain does not fully distinguish between imagined and real. Neuroscience shows mental rehearsal lights up the same pathways as physical experience. Athletes use visualization to improve performance. The same principle applies to personal transformation. The breathing pattern that unlocks this technique is known as the 6-2-8 count. Inhale for 6 counts, hold for 2, and exhale for 8. This rhythm calms the body and creates a sense of safety. The extended exhale signals release of tension, of fear, of old patterns. The structured rhythm provides steady focus, anchoring the mind as visualization unfolds. Each cycle of 6-2-8 becomes a pulse of transformation, grounding imagination into embodied experience. Sit comfortably with your spine tall, shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and take a deep, cleansing breath to begin. Inhale slowly through the nose for a count of 6. Feel your lungs expand, your chest rise, and your belly open with breath. Hold gently for 2 counts, not straining, just pausing, allowing the energy to settle. Then exhale fully through the mouth for a count of 8, releasing every drop of tension. Repeat this cycle like waves rolling in and out. After a few cycles, the body is calmer, the mind quieter, the heart more open. This is the clearing phase. Once cleared, begin the visualization. With each inhale, imagine breathing life into your ideal self. See this self in detail, their posture, their confidence, their calm. Engage every sense. See the light in their eyes, hear the tone of their voice, feel the energy in their body. As you breathe, imagine stepping into their perspective, merging with them. With each exhale, release the gap between who you are now and who you are becoming. The breath carries you deeper into identification, until the boundary between visualization and reality begins to blur. This works because of mirror neurons, cells that fire both when we act and when we imagine. When you visualize with breath, mirror neurons activate as if you are already living it. This activation supports neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Repeated practice reshapes the brain, carving pathways that reinforce your new identity. What begins as visualization becomes natural behavior. Imagination becomes embodied truth. For example, if your ideal self is confident in public speaking, visualization can transform fear into ease. In the clearing phase, breathing calms the body's stress response. In the visualization phase, see yourself speaking clearly, breathing steadily, and standing strong. As you repeat with the 6-2-8 breath, the brain learns this state is safe, even familiar. The next time you face an audience, the old fear is weaker. Your new identity has already been rehearsed into being. The same applies to relationships, career, health, or spirituality. Breath clears the noise. Visualization sets the direction, and the brain's plasticity makes it real. The technique is simple, but the implications are profound. You are not trapped by old identities. You can create new ones. You are not limited by past experiences. You can shape future ones. With each breath, you are literally rewiring who you are. This practice is not about escaping reality. It is about reshaping your relationship with it. By combining conscious breathing with visualization, you bring the future self into the present moment. You are teaching your body to feel, your mind to believe, and your spirit to embody the change. Consistency is the key. Just as muscles grow stronger through repetition, identity grows stronger through practice. At first, it may feel like imagination, but over weeks and months, you notice shifts, calmer reactions, more presence, a natural embodiment of your ideal self. This is not coincidence. It is the direct result of conscious neuroplasticity, powered by breath and visualization. Ultimately, you are both the sculptor and the sculpture, both the observer and the creator. Breath clears the past, visualization shapes the future, and together they awaken the present. Through this 2-part technique, you no longer wait for transformation, you live it. Each inhale becomes a step into your ideal self. Each exhale a release of the old, until one day you realize the self you once imagined has become the self you now are. All the wisdom we have explored means little unless it is lived. The true power of conscious breathing and observation lies in daily use, in ordinary moments. Transformation is not reserved for meditation cushions or yoga studios. It happens in everyday life. It happens when you are stuck in traffic, when criticized, when deadlines loom, or when fear whispers. The observer effect is not abstract. It is a tool you can use in real time, in real situations. Let's begin with anger, one of the most explosive emotions, capable of burning relationships and clouding clarity. When anger arises, the body tightens, the voice rises, and words spill out before we can stop them. But conscious observation offers another path. Pause, stop, and bring awareness to the breath. Simply notice, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Then quietly name the emotion. This is anger. This is frustration. Naming creates distance. In that space, anger loses power. You are responding, not reacting. Perhaps you choose to speak calmly, to walk away, or to listen instead of attack. Next, consider anxiety. It is like a restless wind inside the body. Tight chest, shallow breath, racing thoughts. Instead of resisting, observe. Notice the racing heartbeat, the tightness, the restlessness. The instinct is to resist, but resistance amplifies anxiety, making it louder. Name them silently. Here is tightness. Here is racing. Here is restlessness. As you watch, calmness begins to appear, because observation removes the fuel of resistance. Anxiety feeds on struggle, but when you observe without judgment, it dissolves naturally. Paired with slow breathing, this practice shifts the body back into calm. Over time, you realize anxiety does not control you. You can meet it with awareness, and in that awareness, peace emerges. And what about the wandering mind? The endless stream of thoughts that pull us away from presence. We all know what it feels like to be lost in thought, rehashing the past, rehearsing the future, caught in loops of worry or fantasy. When you notice the mind wandering, don't fight the thought. Observe it as a mental event, not as truth. Imagine it as a cloud drifting across the sky, or a wave rising and falling in the ocean. By paying attention to the thought as an object, you create space between you and the story. You realize you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness in which thoughts arise and dissolve. These three practices, breathing through anger, observing sensations in anxiety, and witnessing thoughts, are simple but powerful. Each time you practice them, you weaken the grip of old patterns and strengthen awareness. Over time, this daily use becomes second nature. Life itself becomes the meditation. Science supports this shift. Naming emotions activates the prefrontal cortex, calming the amygdala. Observing anxiety interrupts the stress feedback loop. Watching thoughts activates metacognition. Spiritually, these practices echo ancient teachings. Liberation is found not by avoiding life, but by observing it deeply. Imagine you are at work, and a colleague criticizes your idea in front of others. Normally, anger flares. You feel disrespected, embarrassed, ready to defend yourself harshly. But in that moment, you remember, stop, observe, breathe. You notice the heat in your body, name the emotion, anger, and pause. Instead of snapping back, you respond calmly, perhaps asking a clarifying question. What could have been conflict becomes dialogue. Another day, you are preparing for an important meeting, and anxiety creeps in. Sweaty palms, racing heart, restless mind. Instead of fighting it, you breathe slowly and observe. Here is tightness. Here is racing. You let the sensations be without resistance. Within minutes, calm returns. You walk into the meeting with presence instead of panic. Later that night, your mind begins spinning stories. What if I fail? What if things go wrong? Instead of chasing the thoughts, you notice them. Ah, here is worry. You watch the thought like a cloud passing by. The story loses its grip. This is daily life transformed by observation. It does not mean emotions vanish. They are part of being human. But the difference is how you relate to them. You become the observer, not the slave of emotion. The beauty of this practice is its accessibility. You don't need tools or rituals. Your breath, body, and mind are always with you. Wherever you are, at work, at home, in traffic, in conversation, you can stop, observe, and transform the moment. This is the observer effect in daily life. Awareness itself changes everything. So the invitation is simple. Practice in small moments. When anger arises, breathe and name it. When anxiety comes, observe it. When thought pulls you away, watch and return. Each time you reshape your brain, rewire your patterns, and transform your identity. Transformation is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice, built breath by breath, moment by moment. In this practice, life itself becomes the teacher, every challenge the training ground, every breath the path to awakening. When we step into philosophy, East and West converge on one profound realization. Transformation begins inward. In Eastern wisdom, Advaita Vedanta, Zen, Taoism, the real self is described as pure awareness. You are not fleeting thoughts, nor emotions that fade, nor stories of identity. You are the one who observes. When you meditate and notice the breath rising and falling, you taste this truth directly. Sages urge us not to ask, "What am I thinking?" but "Who is aware of this thought?" That subtle shift dissolves the illusion of being trapped inside thought and reveals freedom of consciousness. Western philosophy echoes this recognition. Sartre declared we are not defined by essence, but by awareness and choice. He emphasized consciousness as a flowing awareness, a nothingness that reflects and chooses. Heidegger described Dasein, the being aware of being itself, awareness as an opening into freedom. To be aware is to be free, for in noticing thoughts and feelings, we create new possibilities. Both Sartre and Heidegger point us to the same liberating truth as Eastern sages. Awareness is the gateway to freedom. When we are lost in problems, we shrink to the size of those problems, like the sky collapsing into a single dark cloud. But when we step back into awareness, we remember we are the vast sky in which the storm appears. When we pay less attention to the problem and more to the awareness observing it, the problem loosens its grip. Transformation happens not by overanalyzing the problem, but by inhabiting the space of awareness where new responses arise. Think about this practically. Rejection may spiral into thoughts of unworthiness. I'm not good enough. I always fail. No one will accept me. But if that person steps back and notices, I see the thought arising. I see sadness swelling in my chest. Suddenly there is distance. In that subtle distance, freedom is born. The thought still exists, but it is no longer the whole identity. This is what both Eastern wisdom and Western existentialism mean. Awareness as freedom. Eastern masters say, the mind is like a river. Thoughts and emotions are waves constantly rising and falling. If you identify with the waves, you feel tossed and unstable. But if you realize you are the riverbed, you are never disturbed. Western thinkers say, life is like a stage. We are both actors and directors. To live unconsciously is to be trapped in a script written by conditioning and fear. But awareness lets us step into the director's role, rewriting the script, choosing how the story unfolds. It's important to see why this shift matters. Many try to fight problems directly, resisting thoughts, suppressing emotions. But resistance feeds the problem. The more you try not to be anxious, the more anxious you become. The more you try to silence anger, the more it simmers beneath the surface. Awareness offers a different path. Instead of fighting, you watch. Instead of being the storm, you are the sky. And in that openness, the storm dissolves. Transformation comes from attention on awareness, not on the problem. To live from awareness is to align with both ancient wisdom and modern science. Neuroscience confirms mindfulness reshapes the brain. Stress regions shrink, clarity and regulation grow. Philosophy and science converge on the same truth. Observation changes the observed. Self-observation changes the self. This is the observer effect, not only in quantum physics, but in human consciousness. Transformation is not about creating a new you by rearranging circumstances. It is about realizing the true you, the silent, spacious awareness behind the mind. Eastern sages call it self, or pure consciousness. Western thinkers call it freedom or being. Call it what you like, the essence is the same. The more you know yourself as observer, the freer you become. Transformation happens not when you fix every problem, but when you stop seeing yourself as the problem. When attention rests in awareness, the identity of the one who struggles dissolves. What remains is presence, clarity, and an unshakable sense of freedom. Because once you know you are the observer, you cannot go back to being just the storm. The greatest shift happens when you stop wrestling with the surface of life and work from the inside out. When it comes to transformation, many people believe the solution lies in sheer willpower, forcing themselves to push harder. But if willpower alone were enough, then lasting change would be easy. Real transformation goes beyond trying harder. It emerges from awareness, breath, and observation as an inner technology. This is not about effort in the conventional sense. It is about alignment. Problems are not just out there. They are shaped by perception, meaning, emotion, and perspective. The observer effect shows us, change the way you look at something, and the thing itself transforms. What once appeared as a wall becomes a doorway. What once felt like a burden becomes a teacher. Think of stress at work. Two people face the same deadline, the same workload, the same conditions. One feels crushed and defeated, while the other feels challenged, energized, even inspired. The difference is not the problem itself, but the way it is perceived. Awareness, combined with breath and observation, shifts us from victim of circumstance to creator of response. This is what it means to become a reality engineer from within. When the inner frame shifts, the picture of life transforms. This is the essence of Eastern philosophies that speak of harmony and balance through inner work. In yoga, the breath is prana, life force, the bridge between body and spirit. In Taoist breathing, harmony comes not from conquering the world, but from aligning with the Tao. In mindfulness practice, awareness itself becomes the tool to untangle the knots of suffering. All these traditions converge on one message. When you return to inner presence, the external aligns naturally. Instead of brute force, you discover flow. Instead of trying harder, you access clarity, intuition, and energy. Imagine a conflict with someone close to you. The problem seems like it's their words, their behavior. Your instinct may be to argue, to defend, to push back harder. But if you pause, breathe, and observe, not just them, but your own thoughts and emotions, you see the battlefield is within. Maybe it's the old pattern of needing to be right. Maybe it's fear of rejection. Maybe it's belief that conflict equals danger. By observing, you bring hidden patterns into light, and once seen, they lose their grip. In clarity, you respond differently. Instead of reacting, you create a new possibility. The conflict may still exist, but your relationship to it has shifted, and so the problem is never the same. Transformation is not about suppressing problems. It is about shifting your vantage point. When you are inside the problem, you are entangled, lost in the storyline. But when you step into awareness, supported by breath, you rise above the storyline. You see wider context, hidden patterns, and choices that were invisible before. This is the true power of the observation effect. The external may not change instantly, but inner space expands. And as inner space expands, new responses emerge, transforming life from within. Notice how different this is from the common approach of willpower. Willpower says, fight harder, resist more, push through. Awareness says, see clearly, breathe deeply, respond differently. Willpower often exhausts us, leading to burnout or relapse. Awareness restores us, bringing energy, balance, and sustainability. Combining awareness with breath and observation is like discovering an inner technology. It is precise, elegant, and works because it aligns with the true design of mind and body. The phrase reality engineer from within captures this beautifully. You are not merely reacting, you are engineering your reality through inner design. Every conscious breath is a recalibration. Every observation shifts possibility. Each step into awareness rewrites the script of identity, from victim to creator. This is not fantasy. It is lived experience, available to anyone who dares to practice. The tools are simple: breath, awareness, observation, but their power is profound. A small shift in perspective can change the meaning of an entire story. A small shift in inner alignment can change the trajectory of your life. And here is the spiritual dimension. Solving problems from within is not only about personal success, but harmony with life itself. When you operate from awareness, you no longer fight the flow of existence. You no longer impose resistance on reality. Instead, you align with the deeper intelligence of life. The same intelligence that makes your heart beat, that guides the seasons, that moves the stars. Yoga speaks of union, Taoism of harmony, Buddhism of awakening, all pointing to the same truth. Transformation begins within, and when the inner shifts, the outer reflects it. So next time you face a challenge, pause and remember, problem is not only outside, it also lives in how you see it. Instead of tightening with willpower, soften with awareness. Instead of reacting, observe. Instead of being the victim of circumstance, become the creator of response. This is not passivity, it is mastery. This is not escaping reality, it is engineering reality from within. Breath by breath, observation by observation, you are shaping not only your inner state, but the way reality unfolds around you. This is the path of the reality engineer, where problems are no longer chains but stepping stones and every breath becomes a tool of creation.